Hey guys, it's Ben with Upcountry Electric. We have a trouble call back again with these same soft starters at the same well site. We got a SCADA notification this morning. One of the well pumps faulted on a phase loss. The same soft starter I just replaced about 2 weeks ago has been running fine since and showed a phase loss. So we went into our online data logging, second by second data logging, to look at the event, and it started good yesterday and ran good, all normal values, everything good. Then today in the morning, around when the fault occurred, it started, and for the first 5 seconds or so there was no current on one leg, high current on another, and low current on a third leg, and it didn't trip. And then the flow came up to 100 gallons a minute like normal, and it ran. And then as soon as those current values normalized, they stabilized at about 50% of what we usually see for current. Voltages on both of them, both soft starters, were showing good and strong, and our flow was showing strong as well too. And it didn't fault for about, I think about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. It ran like that, and then it finally tripped on a phase loss, which brought to my attention a couple things. One, we don't have any current unbalance or undercurrent or overcurrent. Well, we do have overcurrent. We don't have any undercurrent or current unbalance faults. It brought a couple things to my attention. We don't have any current unbalance or undercurrent fault. We kind of were relying on voltage unbalance and undervoltage and a loss of flow to trip that. So I'm going to add those two things, and then if I get there and run the well and I'm able to clamp onto the thing and see good amperage while the soft starter sees poor, that would mean that I've got 3 soft starters in the span of 6 months at the same location who are all showing the same problem. So we're going to head there and see what we find, and hopefully, yeah, we can put an end to this. All right, I'll see you there. Okay, so we got the same fault as before. Phase loss on C, phase loss fault. Before I cycle power, I'm just going to put it into off, and I'm going to go ahead and hit reset. Now we're going to open it up. Let's get a clamp meter on there and see what happens when I try and run it. We'll check and, of course, make sure we've got all our phase voltages. But what my hunch is that the bug is still present, and when I run it, I'm going to be getting about 33 amps on here, and my clamp is going to show about 70. And then that'll mean that that software bug is present on this new unit that we just installed. So we'll do that now. Okay, got them on there. We're going to put them in local and start. There it is, 34 amps, 74 amps. Man, I hate it when I'm right. Okay, the bug is back. Okay, we are way under. What time is it so we can do a good cycle stop? So we can stop. We're gonna go ahead and shut them down. So yeah, we've got 35 amps on the display and 72 amps to the motor. 72, 73, 75, yeah, so we're good. It's working. We've got the same software bug on another soft starter. Go ahead and shut them down. Good. I'm going to verify, I have it on my records, the model number of this one, and with the 2 that I sent back, just to make sure. I'm 99.999% sure I did not mix that up, but now's a good time to check since we're getting the exact same anomaly again here with this one. So the new pump 2 serial number is 767.6. 2276. That's this guy. And the new pump 1, and then the old pump 2. This is pump 1. No, yeah, this is pump 2. The old pump 2 was 192. That is not him. So this is the new unit. And we can just verify this guy too while we're here. Pump 1. Good. And the old one, yes. So just ruling out the stuff that makes me feel like I'm going crazy. I did take out the old ones and put in the new ones. Now, so we've got the same problem as we did before. They recommended swapping the battery, doing a software reset, hard factory reset of the software, and reprogramming all the parameters. So we'll do that. And then they also said add surge protection to the 120 volt circuit that the drive is running on. So that's this, A1 and A2. And that's coming from this control transformer right here. Let's look at this wiring diagram. So there's our fuses to the line side of him. It's already got an MOV on the secondary. Okay, so looking at it, there's already a metal oxide varistor on the 120 circuit here. Let me show you. So here's our control transformer that takes our 480 on top and our 120 secondary down here, 105 and 100. And that little red circle is our metal oxide varistor. So with that already installed, I don't really see a need to install additional surge suppression. They were kind of mentioning that sometimes these units won't come in a can like this, pre-wired by them, and the customer will make all their field connections and bring them 120. But in this case, everything's coming off of that 480 supply, going through the control transformer, and then it has surge suppression, on the secondary on the 120 for the control. So at this point, I am just going to do a factory wipe, software wipe, and reprogram it, and then call them first thing in the morning and see what they say to try, because this is beyond frustrating. Having this bug again. So go ahead and wipe it and set everything up and then get out of here. All right, I'll see you after I figure it out. All right, that looks better. So went ahead and did the wipe, factory wipe, re-entered all my things. I added a current unbalance and a undercurrent trip to both of them. And yeah, we're just gonna have to get in touch with the manufacturer and see what they have to say, see what our options are. Good morning, it's Ben with Upcountry Electric in Maui, Hawaii.
Yes, sir.
So we got the new units, the warranty replacement units out here. Does that ring a bell? Do you remember me?
Yep. Yes.
And we installed them, I think, on the 17th. And then yesterday, with pump 2, one of those new units threw a phase loss, and looks like the current sensors on it are all wonky. I went there and was able to observe 70 amps coming out of the thing and 30 amps on the display. So we've got a big problem where I've got another unit with that same software bug. I went ahead and checked and did the factory wipe and checked the control circuit to make sure there's a surge suppressor on it, and it's all that, you know, factory white enclosure you guys build, and it's got a surge suppressor on it, so I'm really at a loss for what to do next.
So basically, the replacements are having a similar problem to what the original units had.
One of them so far, yeah.
Okay. Are you communicating with these at all? Do you have anything set up through the RS-485?
We are, and we're logging all of the volts and amps and fault data second by second.
Okay. Can you possibly disconnect that stuff?
We could.
probably the purpose for, you're using these, but I've never had this problem on another unit before, and the fact that the second ones are doing it, I have to believe that it's something involved with what's happening there on site that's causing it. And the only suggestion I can make is to, remove all the communications and run them as the soft start. Then, if that works that way, then we've got to figure out why the communications are interfering
Okay. That is going to be a little difficult for us to do, especially right now we're using that comms to not only track the faults, but to record the anomaly. So if it were to fault again, I'm not going to be able to have any kind of detailed log on it. So I'm going to need to rent power monitoring equipment like a Dranetz or a Parsons power meter and install that for X amount of time as a rental unit so that I can monitor exactly what's going on. In case it does do it again, then I can, have the data to back that up.
That's how you're catching what's happening.
Yeah, and controlling the whole system. That's the primary reason we have it. Are we the only ones using RS-485 on VMX soft starters?
Oh, no.
Okay,
no,
cool. So, and have you ever had a series of bugs like this before with the current sensors?
No, that's the issue.
Yeah.
I've not had problems with the current sensors, and the only thing that I can come up with is that it's something that's going directly into the CPU board, which would be the communications.
Yeah, and something to do, something systemic is kind of what I'm thinking. It's either all your soft starter units have a bug, or there's something at our particular site which is causing the issue. Do you know? Okay. I'm kind of at a loss. I'll talk to my my serial guy who's a lot better at serial comms, but I'm just wondering where I should start looking with that RS-485 thing.
I have an idea because I'm not really that into communications. We do have people here that work more with the communications, not only on those units, but on our medium voltage units, and they may be more familiar with it. Let me
because to me, I'm just reading out of it. You know what I mean? I believe right. I'll check with my serial guy and see what he says, but I believe we're just reading data,
which shouldn't affect anything in there.
One would hope.
And it's the display of is it the information you're getting from the unit, or is it the display on the unit?
Both.
Is wrong.
Both.
Neither one are correct?
When the bug occurs, and it goes away after a power cycle, but if I get there before a power cycle, I can run it, and I can see, this time it was 50% the actual current, but on our second-by-second logging, we could see that it completely dropped a whole phase for a time. It had one phase at 100% and another at 50, which made me, now I've enabled current unbalance faults, because I was like, geez, look at that. It should be tripping on a current unbalance, but the red flag to us was the flow was fine. The pump discharge was flow. The flow was normal the whole time. So
okay, so it displays and transmits a current that is approximately 50% of what it's actually seeing.
Yeah, and 0% as well for some periods. And we saw this previously with the other units where the voltage would also do that. And to me, it's really like the odds of me getting 3 units from you that have this problem seems very low.
Right. I could see 2 of them suffering the same fate because they've been built together, or they've been,
the same guy, on a Friday. Yep, exactly.
But to have the other one do that, and if the 4th unit shows up doing that, then we really know something. You say, okay, it can display and transmit either 50% or 0%, which which means it probably could be anything in between, but that cycling power brings it back to normal for a short time.
Exactly. And it's been 15 days or so since they were installed. And one of them runs 6 days a week, and the other is a backup and is exercised 1 day a week. So it makes sense that we haven't seen the other fault because it hasn't had as many duty cycles. But I have a feeling it's just a matter of time before that one shows it as well. But this is interesting, Mike. You're helping me really narrow it down. And yeah, that's a good point. That is something that we haven't looked into. I'm going to review with my serial comms guy. If you could help me by just sharing this problem with anybody there who's maybe knows, like, oh, are they reading this? Are they writing that? Maybe it's because, oh, don't be writing that data over. That might confuse it or bog it down or something. That would be really helpful.
Quickly ask me a question that goes beyond my capability.
Yeah, so if you could CC them on that.
I will make a note and put you in touch with them, or put them in touch with who you. And do you, by any chance, have a complete diagram of how the starters are wired up and connected in with the communications?
I can get you that.
That would help.
Yeah.
That would help.
Yeah, I can get you a serial. I can get you a serial map for sure.
All right.
Okay, Mike.
Let me go talk to these people and see what I can come up with.
I appreciate the help.
I've got right here.
Thanks, Mike. And we're back. So yesterday we had a fault on our new soft starter. Came and saw the same amperage discrepancies bug that we'd been seeing before. This morning, today, got a hold of them, and I got you just heard the phone call. They're saying the only thing we can think of is maybe your Modbus or your serial comms aren't working, or not even not working. The only thing that's here that they're unsure of is maybe the serial comms are what's causing the bug. To which I was a little taken aback. I was a little taken aback by that and kind of shocked, but it is what it is. So then this afternoon, while on another call, I received word that it faulted again, about 24 hours later from the one I did yesterday. While I was here yesterday, I did the factory wipe procedure. So now the plan is from the factory, well, to rule out the serial, let's try disconnecting it. So I'm going to disconnect the serial comms from this unit and leave them on this unit so that we can at least see voltage on the site, is my thinking. And then if this one starts acting up, I'll remove them on there. But if we can go an extended period without this bug, without the serial on there, then it must be because of the serial, but that doesn't really make me that pleased. So I really want to find out what it actually is going wrong and why, and I want to be able to have serial comms with this thing. So for today's fault, it looks like an undercurrent. I just established undercurrent thresholds when I was here yesterday. UCC, undercurrent during constant speed. So yeah, that makes sense. Its inner current sensors stopped working, and it probably saw a freakishly low current. We saw that with the log on yesterday's stuff. And just to prove it, we're gonna run it right now and see the amperage present. Put it in off, reset, put it in local, hit start. Looks good. Normal. Oh. Instantly faulted. And I didn't see what the current was on here. That's my mistake. Alright, we're going to have to wait for a cycle stop and then run it again. Alright, so here's another attempt at solving this problem. We'll see. as one more thing we can narrow down. If the bug comes back with no serial comms connected, then I will be back on the phone with the factory asking them what next. It's definitely frustrating, discouraging, but yeah, this one just can't end, it seems. But maybe we'll get closer. If it does perform well for a month and doesn't trip, then I want to zero in on them and why. What we're reading from this, there's only one data bit we're writing, which is a fault reset, and we do that very rarely through the serial network. But otherwise, we're just reading data, why that would cause that problem. So, all right, thanks for hanging in there, bearing along when it's difficult and not always glamorous or flashy. And sometimes it's humbling and confusing, but we'll hang in there and we'll keep doing our best, and I'll see you on the next one. All right.